stumble, they will fall.
You're gonna have to make a choice.
They will join you in the sun, Cal.
A choice of whether to stand proud in front of the human race or not.
You will help them accomplish wonders.
Hey guys, what's going on? Green Ranger 1701. It has been a hot minute since I've been able to cut a video. The holidays were crazy, college, end of year stuff with my job. It's just been crazy. And on top of all that, I accidentally deleted the unboxing video. So here we are cutting a much shorter video than usual of just the overall suit. So what comes in this cosplay? It's pretty straightforward, so it's not a big deal. You have the cape that has little metal clips that tuck up into the suit piece. This is all one piece spandex, and then you have boots that are very, very thin soled. We'll talk about that in a second, that just zip up in the back, but it's literally just 3 pieces. So let's talk about whether or not this is worth it. So I'm kind of in the middle here, and you guys can judge for yourself. I have had people that have already used my code and actually ordered this suit. I'm waiting to get a little bit of feedback from them as well. Overall, I do like it, so let's talk about that. First of all, I love the cape. The cape actually has enough weight, so it's not like the Thor Dark World, but was super heavy, and it's not like the Thor Love and Thunder where it's very, very light. This is right there in the middle, something you would kind of expect that a high wind would pick it up, but a low wind would give it just a bit of a flutter on the bottom. It gives a nice look. Think of Cavill's Superman walking out of his ship for the first time in Man of Steel, or Snyder Cut Justice League, he chooses this black suit here, right? Stitching, you can tell there's a lot of white here. I can't really zoom in at the moment. It's not really noticeable. There's some loose threads. This stuff can be cut off, modified. I don't think it's a huge deal, especially if you're a little ways away from the cosplay. It's not huge. I think the detail is great. The emblem, the Hope emblem, actually protrudes a little bit. So as you can see, just run my fingers underneath it. This is probably, I don't know, 1/4 inch out. And this is kind of like a rubber material, so it's kind of neat. But it gives a little bit more feel. And then of course, each of these pieces, there are additional fabric sewn on, so they're not just part of it. You've got the wrist cuffs here. I thought they did a really great job on this, especially where it comes and kind of points out. It's not just round. I have seen that in prior Superman cosplay before. So when you're putting your hands through, it zips right up from here up to here. So if you got a big hand, if you got something underneath, you can put your hand through and then zip it up, no big deal. It also zips up just like any other spandex from the back down here at the tailbone, and then moves straight up all the way to the neck. The only thing that I'm not really a fan of here is the boots. And let's just talk about this. I'll just remove it real quick. So no sole whatsoever. This is not something you're gonna be walking around in. If you're gonna get this suit, find some different boots. You can't, this is uncomfortable even to run around on carpet with. And I'll tell you why, I'll show you why. So these zip down in the back, which is convenient, right? They look cool, they just don't feel cool. So here in the very back, there is a piece here that's protruding up where it's sewn down to the sole, and it's actually bugging my foot, like it's almost a bit of a tack in the back of my foot, and that's because the seam is actually torn a little bit. But this is just way too thin. You would never be able to run around a con on concrete, anything, and personally, I just don't even like walking around in them. So, the only thing that makes me keep wearing them is it has a silver up here, but I bet you that if you put on regular black boots that went up your calf, no one would even notice, honestly. So I think that's what I'm going to do going forward. As for the rest of the suit, so of course you have, this has a little bit of weight to it too, which I really appreciate. It always makes it feel more like a superhero cosplay when the suit actually has a little bit of weight, especially in the cape. So this has, I'm going to take this out, kind of like the Cavill suit actually, which I was kind of impressed with. So there's a bit of a, I don't know what you would call this. It's kind of rubbery, it's kind of stretchy, which is good. But you take this silver piece and you tuck it up underneath, and so it gives the cape a little bit more of illusion that it's sewn into the suit itself. Look what I did myself here. Yeah, this is why I have my wife help me, because doing it on your own just doesn't work too well. So, here we go. There. And then, so it just pops out. Doesn't give the illusion that it's actually really anything underneath. It's just tucked in. And again, it has some decent weight. So not much to tell here. The overall suit is comfortable. I think the design looks good. The boots suck. Put on your own boots. The cape is perfect. Not too heavy. Definitely not too light. Gives that perfect feel of the flow. And of course, I actually wore this recently to something else, which I don't remember at the moment. But it actually flows really well in the wind. So as you're walking, you can just feel it just pushing up enough. I mean, not riding off your back straight forward, horizontal, but just enough to give that feel that you're kind of like this power walk, right? So it's really neat. So overall, just because of the boots, I give it a 7 out of 10. I mean, you had 3 things to do, right? You had the spandex, the cape, and the boots. So I definitely would have paid more for some quality boots there, especially since spandex isn't all that costly. But let me know in the comments down below, do you own this Superman black suit cosplay from Zack Snyder's Justice League, or how are you planning on ordering it? If so, get your own boots. Remember always to use my personal discount code at SimCosplay.com, GreenRanger1701 for 7% off all your orders. And yeah, we'll check you guys later. Thanks so much for watching, and more to come. Dragon Sword!